Hi, I have decided to make this video because I want to share something with you. Particularly March and April this year has been very difficult for everyone, and we are still going to struggle for the next, I don't know, maybe 10 more weeks, maybe 3 months, maybe even most of the year. We have to be prepared mentally for whatever the situation brings. And in some ways, we are lucky that some of us can work. Many of us can work online, many of us can go to work as key workers, and so on and so on. But at the same time, there is many self-employed people who have, for some reason, not registered themselves with the Inland Revenue and obviously are left without any resources. So the question is, do we have plan B? Do we have plan B? Because if we don't, we're going to find ourselves in lurch, because the situation is this, that we are in the unknown waters. We haven't swam in that waters before. This is the first for us, probably the biggest in human history, a time where we are locked out, we cannot go anywhere, and we cannot visit anyone, so we are basically kept away from other people. Is it good? Definitely not. Is it for our safety? The question is whether it is, because so far the evidence is not there. But even so, it is still better to adhere to the advice of the government, because we need to stay safe. So if we are told to stay at home, let's stay at home. If we are one of those that are working, go to work, but when you come home, make sure you don't move anywhere, because it's no point to take risk. And over the last week, I have seen many people driving, walking about, going out with children, and so on and so on. It seems like many people is ignoring the call of the government, putting themselves at risks and putting at risk many other people. So what can we do? What can we do? I think we need to take responsibility, and we need to tell people that they are putting others at risk, and they need to take responsibility for that. And here I would like to say a huge thanks to every key worker in the UK and around the world, because without these people jeopardizing the safety of their own, jeopardizing the safety of their families, many of them are not going back home because they are afraid that they might be infecting their family members, so they keep away from their own family. That is very hard to do. And those people who are not responsible and going out and risking, they are not thinking of anybody else. And that's a shame, because if we are responsible, we will be responsible for others as well. So let me talk to you about the things that we can do whilst we are locked up. There is plenty things that we can do, and yesterday I did a video with a colleague of mine about growth, and there are 4 elements to it. So when you go to our channel on Dolphin Seminars on YouTube, you will be able to see that film and learn from that discussion that we had. But for myself, I am helping others through giving them opportunity to talk to me for 1 hour free of charge and help me to resolve their issues. I am qualified coach and mentor. My passion is to help other people, and this is one of the ways that I like to give back, because that is important. And the other thing that I do is on Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock, I have organized a casual networking event for business owners where we discuss business, where we have a little bit of fun, and we connect with each other in order to see how we can help each other to overcome this situation, but at the same time look forward to the future and set ourselves up as business partners in the future. The other thing we discuss is the plan B, because it is sad that there are people without an income. It is very sad that people who have been closed down as a precaution in the first line, such as the hotels, such as the restaurants, such as the takeaways, they are really, really struggling financially. And we need to be able to help them emotionally, because this is the time where emotions are taking the peak. We have 30% rise in domestic violence. We certainly are going to have huge increase in the mental conditions. We are going to have people who will be hugely depressed. We are going to have people who will be suffering with anxiety. They will be suffering with fear. And out of that all, there could be other conditions which will come apparent, because when people don't know what is happening, they are panicking. And when they are panicking, the brain basically shuts off. It stops thinking. So instead of planning, instead of looking at the situation and reviewing it and making positive steps to deal with the situation, we are denying that anything has happened. And through denial, we are going into the areas which we would not go otherwise. And that could be drinking, that could be drugs, that could be even suicide. Everyone reacts in a different way. So our responsibility is to pick those people out and help them. If you see someone suffering, help them. If you cannot help them, someone else is going to be able to help. Today, we are not really able to charge people arm and a leg for our services, because very shortly we might find ourselves in the situation where 95% or more of people will not be able to even buy food because the money runs out. So why not prepare ourselves for the fact that any moment now the statistics will be hugely negative, and those people who can should be ready to help, because that is the time which is very, very crucial for the country and for the world and for every individual. So we must help each other. We must be understanding. We must be empathic. If we approach things with empathy, we will be able to really save people's lives. We are in really very alien waters. We don't know whether we are around the Bermuda Triangle at any time, because we simply don't know. Nobody is telling us. We are led by the noses, by the media, by the governments, by responsible people. So how do we cope with that? Some of my clients are self-employed and they have to wait till end of April before anything happens. Some of my clients have already got some help, so that's really good. But there is thousands and thousands upon thousands of people who, even though they are secured financially, they are used to certain activity. And that activity is no longer there for them. So they feel at loss because they don't know how to replace that niche, that hole that has created. So we need to be able to think forward, not backwards, because what happened and who is the culprit behind it, we may never find out. But we can use the situation here and now to create our future. Because if you have a family, your duty is to take care that your children and your grandchildren will be safe and healthy. We have responsibility, so we have to be able to think on our feet. We have to be able to review the situation and to look for ways out. We need to be able to plan the future. We cannot sit on our laurels now. We have to think forward. We have to make sure that we gain new skills, that we gain new knowledge, that we have goals, that we have vision for the future, because that is going to keep us going. That is going to motivate us. Sitting on our bums and doing nothing, only operate the TV remote control or lifting a bottle is no good. We cannot feel sorry for ourselves. This time has been given to us to take advantage of what it has given us. So do things that you haven't done before. Do things that you always wanted to do at home, but you have never had the time to do it, or you were too tired to do. Talk to your children, talk to your grandchildren, talk to your husband or wife. Spend time together. Read a book. Go online and find new ways of creating a passive income. Go online and take part in a free course or a conference. There is so much of it, and you gain so much knowledge out of it. you need to build a plan B for yourself. And if you don't know how to do it, contact me and I can help you. And I can do that free of charge, just to help you out. Because even though we say, okay, business is there to create a profit, I fully agree with you. But in the situation like this, business is there to sustain other businesses as well. We are in a situation now where we cannot go without helping each other. This is the time when the teamwork is becoming hugely apparent. We cannot go without other people. We must have people who are thinking similarly. We have to have people who have got similar customer base, because otherwise, on our own, we are not going to get far. In a way, I think that we have gone far too materialized. People are mostly thinking of in terms of how much I will get out of it, or what is in it for me, rather than, okay, I'm going to do this because I want to help somebody and the reward will come in any way. So think about this. There is a message in all of this for every single one of us. Let's find that message. Let's learn from that message and make sure that when we come out of this prison, we are going to be absolutely ready for everything that comes our way. We will be ready for every challenge. We will be ready for every obstacle. But if we don't prepare ourselves, how are we going to get out and get on with our life? I don't know if you remember a film called Shawshank, but if you can watch that film, it will give you a food for thought. If you watch this guy that comes out after many years in prison and see how lost he is in the unknown world, that gives a real food for thought. So, in order for us to overcome this adversity, we need to prepare ourselves. We need to motivate ourselves. We need to gain new skills. We need to gain new knowledge. And we need to be ready. Because if we don't do that, nobody else is going to do for us. So I hope that you already have planned a way how will you celebrate the moment that we can go out as we did up to not so long ago and just carry on with our lives, build our new life after the prison. Just think about how you're going to celebrate, because I promised myself that when we come out of it, the first thing I do is invite my friends and we're going to have a celebration with nice meal and a little bit of barbecue in my garden. And the next thing is I will go and visit my relatives here in UK, because that is really, really important. So how will you celebrate your freedom? How will you plan your future after the lockdown. What is your business going to be like after the lockdown? Will you be prepared? Is your business going to be prepared? Are you personally going to be ready to face the new world? Because let's face it, these weeks of lockdown are teaching us a huge lesson. These weeks of lockdown are giving us opportunity to become new me, new us. There is a huge, huge expectation for the humanity. So why not do something that we haven't done before and get ready for it? Because the light is at the end of the tunnel, and we need to go forward through that tunnel to reach that light. So when we are free, let's hope that the world will be much better for it, that people will be much better for it, and that we are going to leave legacy to the future generations. I am making notes on what is happening and how I take this personally. And I suggest that maybe that will be very therapeutic for anyone who is willing to start a journal or diary and write down what is happening. Make sure you learn what is your body telling you during that situation. What is your mind telling you about the situation? Listen to your inner voice and write things down. Not in your telephone, not in your computer, but write it down in a physical diary or a notebook. Because who knows if something like this is going to happen again? Who knows that in a short while we will not find out who really stood behind this? Because this hasn't happened on its own. And that is one thing certain. So instead of just sitting there and blaming somebody and playing that game of blame, let's think positive. Let's dream forward. Let's visualize forward. Let's plan forward. Because those who are behind all this, they want us to be depressed. They want us to do nothing. They want us to commit suicide. They want us to do things that we would not want to do. Why should we? Life is the most beautiful thing on earth. So let's take it. Let's live it in peace, in love, empathy, and understanding. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for who you are. Be grateful for the fact that you are here and experiencing something that many generations before you have not experienced. Can you imagine this? You are taking part in something that has never ever happened before. So it is worth to pass the information to your followers, to your children, to your grandchildren. Let's leave legacy of this situation and don't let it be forgotten. Because who knows, Your contribution to that legacy may save millions of lives in the future. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? So let's laugh, let's enjoy, and let's love each other, accept each other, respect each other. So when we are free, we're going to enjoy our life to the full. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you all the very best, all the health, all the wealth, and all the love that comes your way. Thank you.